I went from this to this in these 3 steps. What's up, y'all? My name is Jazz. For those who do not know me, I am a personal trainer and also a health and fitness coach. I was a former binge eater and a yo-yo dieter, but through my trials and tribulations, I learned the proper steps of losing weight, keeping the weight off for good. All right. So today, what we're going to talk about is how you're going to get lean, or how to get lean in 3 steps. All right. So I went from this to this in these 3 steps. But before I get to that, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for you to get some more healthy tips and some workout videos as well, and to share some information in order for you to get to the goal that you want to get to. All right, so let me tell y'all, I went through every single diet out there under the sun. All right, I went from very, very low calorie diets, extreme cardio, to the point that I was hungry, starving myself, and it got extreme to the point that it was messing with my mental state as well. So through all that yo-yo dieting, through all the losing the weight and gaining it back, feel like I'm an emotional wreck, feel like I am a failure because I tried everything and nothing seems to work because I can't keep the weight off. I finally got to the point that enough was enough. And I don't want to look like this no more. So I learned the proper steps on how to keep the weight off for good. Because we all did it. We lost the weight. We all lost weight, but we never can keep it off for good. So with these 3 steps, this is going to help you see some changes in your body, and mentally too, because if we don't change our old habits, we're not going to see any progress in ourselves. So the number one thing, well, it's not even in this order. All 3 of them are important. I'm just saying number 1. But one of the things is you got to eat enough protein. So I am a health and fitness coach. So during my consultations with my clients, I asked them, I said, how much protein do you eat? And they say, I eat a lot of protein, Jazz. I'm like, tell me what's your day-to-day, average of what you eat. She was like, girl, what I eat for breakfast is 2 boiled eggs. And for lunch, I'll eat a sandwich. And then for dinner, I might just eat 2 chicken legs and a vegetable and a starch. So by them giving me that information off the top of my head, the macros, the protein macros is not up there at all. That is not enough protein. So for us, what we thinking we eating a lot of protein is when we put protein in each meal or most of the meals that we consume, which is good, but we're not eating enough of it, because what happens is if you don't eat enough protein, you're going to start getting hungrier quicker throughout the day. So protein is very important because it's an important macronutrient. A macronutrient is the consumption of calories you eat a day. So you got protein, carbs, and fat. That's your calories you eat a day. Protein is very important because it's a satiating food, meaning that you will stay full longer throughout the day. So if you eat a carb, what happens is your insulin spikes and then it crashes. And so if you eat just some crackers, or if you eat like a muffin in the morning, you're not going to stay full long. And what happens is within an hour or so, if you make it that long, because for me, I know I didn't make it that long, you're going to get hungry again, and then you're going to start snacking more carb processed foods, more processed foods. And that's how we eat more calories throughout the day, and that's why we can't lose weight. So you got to eat enough protein. I always aim for a gram per pound per body weight. You're like, what? Like, what? All right. So, for example, if you're trying to get to 150 pounds, try to aim for 150 grams of protein. So, if you don't have a calorie app, then definitely get one. There's a lot of them out there that you can get, but make sure you're tracking your protein on there because that makes sure that you are hitting your grams per pound per body weight that you're trying to aim for. So you definitely got to eat enough protein because it keeps you satiated throughout the day. So for example, instead of eating that muffin, this one thing about me too, I do not take away food from people because we have an inner child in us. So if we say or if we do something like, oh, I can't eat that ice cream or I can't eat those chips, what happens is our inner child is going to want it more because we can't have it. So what I typically do with my clients is I ask them to add something into their diet because what tends to happen is you're going to eat less of it. So if they do eat that muffin, I ask them like, hey, can you put a protein shake first? Drink the protein shake first and then eat the muffin. And what tends to happen is you're going to eat less of the muffin, or you might not eat the muffin at all because you're so satisfied with the protein shake. So protein keeps you satiated longer throughout the day. It also is a thermogenic food, meaning that it takes your body more energy to break that down. So it boosts your metabolism naturally. And on top of that, it helps aid in muscle building. And we have to feed the muscles when we do training. So protein is very, very, very important to consume. So you got to eat enough protein. Number two, I kind of already said it in the first one, but the second important thing you got to do in order for you to get lean is to strength train. Strength training is so important. I remember back in the day that I didn't want to lose. I didn't want not lose. I didn't want to lose weight. I didn't want to resistance train or do any weight training because I ain't want to be booked like a man. I ain't want to be. I ain't want to like no man. So of course this myth was embedded in my head. So I kind of avoided strength training for a while because I thought that if I lift heavy weights, I was going to look like a man, but that's not true. Our women has different genetics than men. We would not look like them at all unless we taking something. But no, we will not be looking like that, like a man at all. So strength training is very important because it helps boost your metabolism naturally. Because what happens is when you do a lot of cardio, which I did, yes, you lose the weight initially, but you can't keep it off for long term because your body adapts. Your body is very smart. So it's trying to improve the endurance. So it adapts to what you're doing. So for example, I was doing a lot of running and the running got the weight off, but I hit a plateau really fast. So what I had to do is either do more running or cut my calories back even further. But it's only but so much running and so much cutting back you can do. We're gonna deteriorate. Like we ain't no. And then what happens is because we be so hungry, then we go back to eating more calories and then we keep getting this yo-yo diet effect, right? So that's why a lot of extreme cardio is not that good because your body will adapt to that. And so strength training helps you boost your metabolism naturally and burn calories throughout the day. And you don't have to chase that cardio bunny activity all the time because strength training is going to naturally going to burn the calories for you. So strength training is very, very, very important. Number three, and this is I know it's a lot. It's kind of hard for some of y'all. It's hard for me too sometimes. You gotta get enough sleep. Enough sleep. because when you don't get enough sleep, I always aim for 6 hours or more sleep. When you don't get enough sleep, number one, it messes with your hormones, hormonal imbalance for women. So that's when our hormone called cortisol is spiked. And so that's it. That is a stress hormone, which means that it's going to be harder for you to lose weight. So if your hormones imbalance, if your cortisol is high, you're not getting the proper sleep, it's going to be hard for you to stick to the diet because the next day you're going to be so tired that you're just trying to find something to give you some energy. And what gives us energy? Anything that's processed. That muffin I was talking about, right? So if we get enough sleep, 6 hours or more sleep, we can control our hormones, we can control our cortisol, and it won't spike, and we'll make better choices throughout the day, the next day, because we won't be so tired. And then we can continue to make better choices and also stick to that strength training because we won't be saying, oh, I'm not going to strength today because I'm tired because I didn't get enough sleep. So if you do those three things, eat enough protein, strength train, and get enough sleep, you're going to see some changes, shawty. You're going to see some changes. All right. So until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment I'm going to say comment below. Let's see. Comment below which out of the three that you struggle with the most. Do you struggle with eating more protein? You struggle with strength training? Or you struggle with getting enough sleep, 6 hours or more sleep? Not sleep, 6 hours or more sleep. All right. Which one of those threes you struggle with? Okay. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video. Okay. Deuces.